question, but I don't know about. It's still about. It's still relate about our training or not about IPv6, enabling IPv6.
Okay.
So about 1 week or 2 weeks ago, I have enabling IPv6 in a server, enabling gateway IPv6. Everything's gone okay. The server can query to root server, can query to Google DNS server, but the DNS cannot query to IPv6 service on itself. But after I restart the IPM DNS, the server can able to dig or query via IPv6 on itself. So I should restart the IPM DNS first to enable to query to itself. Issue of this case, sir.
So you after you reboot, then the query work. Are you saying that?
No reboot. No reboot the server, but
You reboot
I just
server, right?
no reboot the solid server, but I just restart the IPM DNS, the IPM DNS service. Only the IPM DNS service I should restart. Then the DNS can query through the IPv6 itself.
Okay, after you restart the DNS service.
Yes. After I check the sock start, before I restart the IPM DNS service, the port 553 not listen to IPv6 of itself, of IP service DNS itself. But after I restart the
IPM,
yes, IPM DNS services service, it work. The port 53 listening to IPv6. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And then what's your question?
Question is any issue or the steps of enabling IPv6 is should
you have to restart the service because it's a new because it's a new IPv6. Yes, that's the right thing. Yes, you have to restart it so that the new setting will take effect. Yes.
Oh, it should restart. I think I just restart the routing, then the port 53 can listen to IPv6, but it also to restart the IPM DNS too. Yes, sir.
The last thing you mentioned after restart IPM DNS, and what else you restart? The next one you're talking about?
Sorry, before I restart the IPM DNS, the steps is first to enable the gateway. To enable the IPv6, I add the default gateway of IPv6 first. Then I restart routing. After I restart routing, the IPv6, the server can ping to root server of IPv6, can query to DNS Google, but cannot query to itself because after I check, the port 53 is not listened to IPv6. Then after I restart the IPM DNS, the port 53 can listen to IPv6.
Okay.
The question, actually, the question is restarting IPM DNS, or should I restarting IPM DNS to enable IPv6?
Should you restart the IPM
DNS?
Yes, when you enable IPv6, right?
Yes, sir. Maybe it's the question.
Okay, yeah. That's why I say, you have to restart the service because of the new setting that take effect, and especially when you can see when you modify the gateway, correct? And then after that, you can't actually have the query until you restart. Yeah, actually you have to restart the service. I would say it's good that you just restart the service of the new setting for the IPv6, because you're setting the IPv6 gateway, right?
Yes, sir. I add the gateway of IPv6 that it's never added before.
Yeah, correct. You do it from the network configuration, right?
Yes, sir.
And then did you apply the config?
Apply the config? Yes, I config the network from the web UI.
Yes, correct. Then after that, you need to apply the config. After that, the config will apply, correct? And then the only thing is it won't work. Yeah. Yes, I think you have to go and restart the service. Because it's not documented. I know it's not documented, but sometimes when things don't work, it's good that you just have to restart the service itself. Okay.
Okay, sir. It's need to restart the
IPM.
The IPM DNS.
Yeah, correct. Service. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, good. So I assume you have completed the lab. Any issue with the lab? Okay, if you have no issue on the lab, I'm going to cover a little bit before you go for lunch. Okay. So we're going to look at backup and restore. So we're going to look at backup and restore. And later on, after the lunch, then we're going to continue with HA. Okay. Now, backup restore. When you perform a backup on a solid server, right? They will back up the engine file. You see that? They back up the DNS DHCP engine file. Those are the config file of the DHCP and also the DNS engine, right? They will also back up the management database, right? They will also back up the system configuration of the solid server, right? Optionally, you can also back up all the other files that is inside the solid server. These are not really related to the functionality of the server, but these are more for FTP usage, right? Some of the data file, some of the user file that you store on the FTP, right? And also the analytic data. Remember, there's an analytic they store. Yeah, so those are the analytic data. See? Yeah, but these are optional. If you do not want, you can opt out. Opt out, it means that you can don't back up this option. There's a checkbox. You can see the checkbox later on. Oh, so these are what they back up on the solid server, right? So in the management server, the database is the most important. And on the management server, you normally will not have the local DHCP DNS engine, right? So this thing might not be required. I mean, this thing, it will be backup, but normally it's not in use, right? But definitely the system config will be backup. These are the solid server configuration, like the network settings, the service setting, all this stuff. Okay, right. Okay, so these are the things that back up on every server. If you run the backup. Now, backup can be automatically done using a schedule. By default, you have a schedule that backup every day at 1 a.m. every day. So that is a default schedule. They back up the solid server daily at 1 a.m. by default. You can create instant backup as and when, ad hoc. As and when you want to do a backup, you can manually do the instant backup. Right? Now, the backup file is in this format. The backup file name is in this format. Solid server, host name, the timestamp. And it's a zip file. It's a compressed file. Okay? Yeah. The backup file is stored locally. The backup file is stored locally in the solid server. Right? A copy can be stored onto the external server. By default, the backup file are stored locally on the solid server. You can configure the backup file to be stored on the external FTP, SFTP server. Right? And also you can define the retention. How many copies of the backup to keep? Okay, and then they will delete the old backup based on the retention that you define. Okay, right? Now, you can manage the backup from the management server using the web interface. So using the web interface of the management server, you can back up the local management server. So you can perform backup on the local management server. The backup, as I mentioned, they will be stored locally, right? A copy of the backup can be stored remotely on a FTP, SFTP server. So from the management server, you can manage the remote DNS, DHCP server, and you can manage the backup of the remote DNS, DHCP server from the management server. Right? Remember, as long as you do centralized management, when you add the DNS, DHCP to be centralized managed by the management server, yeah, you will be able to perform system backup of the remote DNS, DHCP server. Are you clear with that? Yeah. Of course, a copy of the backup will be stored locally on the remote DNS, DHCP server, and a copy will be stored locally, and of course you can make another copy to be stored on the remote storage. So FTP, SFTP server. So from the management server, you can manage the backup locally and manage the backup remotely. Fine. So for you to manage the backup, you go to the admin home, you go to the admin page, right? You select backup restore, and on the backup restore, right? You can pick the solid server that you want to manage the backup, right? So currently you are managing the local management one. you can pick DNS1, DNS2, DHCP1, DHCP2. Right? If you have turned on centralized management, right? And you can see these are the local backup copy with the timestamp. Right? Yeah. You can schedule the backup. When you want the backup to be performed. By default is daily at 1 a.m. by default. Okay, that right? And of course, you can edit the schedule. Okay, this right? So this is what you see here. Now, of course, you can select the backup file. You can perform a download. So you can download a copy of the backup that's stored locally on the Solid server to the management host. So you want to download a copy, right, of the backup in the Solid server into the management host. Are you clear with that? Right? So that is a download a copy. You can edit the schedule. When you click on edit, this is what you get. Right? You can schedule when you want the backup. The schedule can only be daily. The schedule can only be daily. So you pick the hour in a day. Okay? And then how many copy to keep. So they will create the backup and store locally in the Solid server, right? And they will keep the numbers of copy you want depending on the retention you set. So this is to keep 10 days, means 10 copy. Right? The 11 copy will be deleted. The old one will be deleted. Again, when you perform the backup, you can choose whether to backup the report. Remember, these are actually the export report, right? What is the other name of the report? Contextual report, right? The contextual report, the export report that is stored locally, it can be backup, right? The file that is in the FTP folder can be backup. The user file can be backup, and the analytic file can be backup. So you can select them if you want to backup them. By default, the management database will be backup. The network service configuration file will be backup. The DNS DHCP configuration file will be backup. Right? Yeah. And also the system config will be backup by default. Okay? So this is for you to schedule. Now, if you want to perform instant backup, or you want to upload a backup file, to a remote, my mistake. If you want to perform an instant backup, right? Yeah, and if you want to upload a backup to the Solid server, so I have a backup copy, I have a backup. I want to upload the backup copy from the admin host, right, to the Solid server. Then you can also go to the tool menu. So in the tool menu, you can upload backup file into the Solid server. Remember just now you can download a copy of the backup file. The backup file might be rolled over because of the retention. So when the backup file is rolled over because of the retention, you can upload back the file from your management host or from your remote FTP server. Isn't it? Right? Because you might keep a copy of the backup on the remote storage server, which is like FTP, SFTP server. Okay? So you can upload back the file. Or you can create instant backup. So they will create a backup for you. So they will not wait for the schedule. Okay? Now, if you want to actually store a copy of the local backup, right? So a copy of the backup to the remote DHCP, to the remote FTP or SFTP server, then you can go to the remote archive panel. Just now we are looking at local backup file. This is a local backup files window here. See, this is a local backup file panel, right? So if you click on this, if you look at the remote archive panel, you will be able to manage the remote archive, right? So it means that archive your backup to the remote server. So when you go to the archive server, when you go to the remote archive, you can set the archive server. Type in the IP address, isn't it? Right? Yeah, type in the port number, type in the directory, choose whether is it FTP, is it SFTP. Right? And then also you can archive the log. You can archive the DNS log, DHCP log, and system log to the FTP or SFTP server. And then also you can control the retention for the backup. How many copies to keep on the remote server. Okay? Yeah. So by default, all the backup you create will be stored locally in the Solid server. Or if you want a copy to be stored on the external server, external storage server, then you must configure the archive server. Okay? And you can define the retention. Right? Now, once you have actually created, once you have created the archive server, fine. If you are using SFTP, then they will generate you the public key. So you can copy this public key and you can actually you can copy this public key and you can install it onto the FTP server, SFTP server. So this is the public key required by the SFTP server for the authentication. Okay? Yeah. So the public key will be automatically generated if you are using SFTP. You just have to copy it and configure and use it inside the, import it into the SFTP server. Okay, now you can perform restore. So you can pick a backup, right? And you can perform restore. Are you clear with that? Right? Yeah. So to perform the restore, right? These are the options. You can restore the system config, right? Yeah. And also you can choose to overwrite the resource record in the DNS. So remember, in the backup consists of the configuration database, right? The configuration database consists of the DNS zone. So you can choose to restore inclusive all the resource record that is in the zone, right? So whatever resource record in the zone in the backup will overwrite the resource record in the existing zone, right? So if you want the existing resource record to be overwritten by the resource record that is in the backup, then you click on overwrite. Overwrite DNS record managed via smart architecture. Or sometimes you might not want to do that because the resource record, the current resource record, right, in the management database is the latest resource record. Or the resource record in the backup is a stale record, it's an old one. See? So sometimes when you want to restore if you want to restore the backup, you might not want it to be replaced because there's nothing wrong for the DNS zone. I don't want to replace. I just want to restore the rest. So that's why you have an option not to overwrite the DNS record using the backup. Okay? Yeah. Fine. So you can select that. Other than that, nothing much. You just have to click on OK. And the Solid server will be restarted. Yeah, the services will be restarted. So you just have to wait for restart, right? Yeah. Okay. You also can perform the backup from the command line. So when you go to the command line, you have the menu. You can select backup management. You can create instant backup, and also you can perform restore. Okay? Yeah. So that's all for the backup and restore. Any question? Any questions? Okay, good. No. If no question, we can go for lunch. And then we start again at 1:15 Singapore time. 1:15. Okay, so go for your lunch. Then we start again and see you again at 1:15.
Mr. Tak, sorry.
Yeah.
For Jakarta time, can I join again at 1:20? 1:20 because we have Friday prayer.
Okay, fine. I give you until 1:30, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Tak.
So we start again at 1:30, okay? Yeah. Thank you.
1:30 for Jakarta time, mungkin maybe in Singapore time.
You are saying that 1:30 Jakarta time, not Singapore time. Are you saying that?
Yes, sir. Maybe in Singapore time, 2:30.
Okay, let me check one. Okay, I believe. Let me check with. Okay, now I'm okay with that, right? I'm just. What about the rest of you? Is it okay? So means that we're going to resume the class, right? At 2, right? 2. Okay, 2:30 Singapore time. Any objection?
Yes, maybe it's for me, Ihsan, and Mr. Danang that in Jakarta time, because we have to
go for prayer.
Until 30 in Singapore time, maybe, or 1:30 in Jakarta time.
Yeah, understand. Yeah, so I believe for those who are in Malaysia, they are the same. If for those who are in Malaysia, right, they are the same. They need to go to a prayer also. Am I right? Anyone
Yes,
from
sir.
Malaysia? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Jackie, is it okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, fine. Then fine. Then we're going to start again at 2:30 Singapore time. Okay. So Jakarta is 1:30. Is it okay? Okay, good. Okay, see you later.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Park.
No problem.